Hello, beautiful people. It's Wednesday, so it's Wednesday, baby. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing amazing. Guys, I've missed you guys. I've really missed doing this. I'm really sorry it took a while for me to come back. But here I am, and I'm back with more content, more amazing content. Yeah, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Hope you guys have been doing great, been checking up on each other, listening to each other, because it's really stressful out here. And we really do need each other, and also like we keep ourselves in check. As much as you need this other person to check up on you, you also need to check on yourself and be there for yourself, because if you're not there for yourself, then it's a whole other situation. You get. Yeah, so hope you guys have been checking out my videos, sharing them, commenting, liking. We are at 285 subscribers. I'm really excited about that. I really love that. I didn't expect to have that much subscribers. I don't know why. But keep on subscribing and keep on sharing, because we need to. The reason why I started this was for you guys to understand more about mental health and how it works and how it's all connected, and so that you guys can understand the little things that have been happening to you that you didn't understand. Yeah. So today I'm going to talk about cognitive distortion. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about cognitive distortion. Cognitive distortion, how we describe it as our minds tell us about something when it's completely untrue. Like it convinces us of something. You see, yeah, like the thoughts are usually like used to reinforce negative thoughts. So like for example, you tell yourself like you fail something, and so like you keep on telling yourself you're a failure. You see, like so like the cognitive distortion is you like continuing to tell yourself like, since I failed this time, I'll continue to fail. You see, yeah, like the thinking, like it reinforces negative thinking patterns. You see, yeah, and when in reality it's absolutely completely different. In fact, like you will find like it's not even the event itself that has caused the feeling of negativity. It's just like how you respond to it. Your response to it, you see, is what causes the feeling of negativity. Your response, your mindset, the way like your mind responses sorry the way your mind responds to the event is what causes the cognitive distortion. Yeah, but like I said, it's all in your mind. So like by learning about the different types of cognitive distortions, you can be able to handle them, deal with them, and like tackle them, so that you can have more of a positive mindset. I actually feel like cognitive distortions are more of like a trauma response. You see, uh, so like most people use this as a trauma response because it's usually before something bad happens or after something bad happens. You see, yeah. So I want to tell you about the different types of cognitive distortions. They look pretty. So the first one we have is fortune telling. This is basically, it occurs when we predict things that will turn out. You see, like basically it's just us believing bad things about the future, negative things about the future. We often act like it is the only thing that can happen. You see, it's mostly a self-fulfilling prophecy. For example, you start your day out and you're like, it's going to be a bad day. Like you wake up with a negative mindset, it's going to be a bad day, and then like you've already self-fulfilled it. So you've already prophesied it yourself. So like you have a bad day because early in the morning you woke up and you're like, today's going to be a bad day, or I'm not going to pass my exams. And then you go to the exams room with the mindset that you're not going to pass, and then boom, there you have it, you see. But how to handle it would be like, for example, today is going to be a bad day. You would maybe like wake up and say like, what, today I don't feel like it's an okay day, but I will tackle the issues that will come my way. You believe that you'll be able to tackle the issues that will come your way on that day. That sounds more positive, even though like you've woken up and you weren't feeling it, you see. Because we all have those days, but when we reinforce that thought, then poof. Yeah, the next one would be mind reading. This is amazing. Yani, like, you see what happens with mind reading is like, this trap happens when we believe that we know what someone else is thinking. So like it's also another one that actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that as you make this prophecy, or when you talk, or when you think like someone is mad at you or something, like for example, we would say maybe you've gone to see your friend, and your friend seems a little bit off, they're quiet, they're not talking to you. I'm telling you, this is a meeting. So you've gone to see your friend, and then like this friend of yours is just quiet. He isn't talking to you as much. And you're all psyched up, but this person isn't giving back the same energy. You'll think that this person is angry at you. A meeting. What? So you'll think that this person is maybe mad at you, but in actual sense, this person is just going through their own personal stuff, and you're not even in their mind at all. You see, they're just dealing with their own stuff, and you being there even isn't an issue to them. It's just that they're quiet and they're dealing with it in their own way. But since negative reinforcement is there, you'll be like, Nani doesn't want to talk to me, and yeah, you see. So for that, we would say like, for example, if you're going to see your friend and you would maybe ask them what's going on, or so that you don't jump into conclusions and hurt yourself, because man, our minds are our enemies. Our minds, man, I can tell you from experience, our minds are our enemies. So like what you'd rather do is just have a conversation with them and just try to find out what's going on with them, badala ya kuwa like nani amenikasirikia. Or maybe you go into a place and you're like, these people are looking at me weirdly. Maybe it's because of the way I'm dressed, and kumbe nani is just in their own world, wamezubaa tu. You see, it's not always about, like, I wouldn't want to say about you, but the next one would be black and white thinking. In this one, it's usually like, in this trap, it usually occurs when we only look at a situation in terms of one extreme to the other, and it's basically having no middle ground. You see, it's either it's good or bad. Yani, it's either it's going this way or it doesn't happen in any other way. You see, like, you just have a rigid mindset. Yani, it's fixed on the fact that if I don't pass these exams, there's no way out for me. If I don't get this job, I am a failure. Like, it's either that, or you don't actually think that there's another like way to handle it. You don't see like, once you move past this, there's actually another opportunity for you out there. Yeah. The next one would be filtering. In filtering, you see, it's usually just basically only paying attention to the negative things of a situation and ignoring the positive ones. You see, you just don't see it any other way. You're just like, hii venye imefanyika hivi. Okay, for example, you have a failed relationship, your first relationship fails, and then you're like, oh no, I'm never going to find love again. I'm going to be so heartbroken for the rest of my life. Something of the sort. That's filtering. You don't see that, like, maybe I usually see this quote and actually believe it, is that when people walk out of your life, it means that they are not meant for like the journey ahead. So you don't see that. You only see like your pain, your heartbreak, your the negativity there at that particular moment. So like for that one, you just like, as much as it, I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you to be like, ah no, since this person is gone, I will be able to do better. There's something good coming my way. You see, yeah. The next one would be cat. That was really, it was really hard for me to stomach the first time I saw it. Catastrophizing. This is basically imagining the worst possible thing is about to happen, and or rather predicting that you won't be able to cope when it happens. You see. So like, yeah, basically, you just imagine something bad is going to happen, and you're like, for example, just basically the same thing. Exams. I'm a student. No, I've actually finished my diploma, but still a student because I'm supposed to start my degree. Story aside, yes. It's also known like, yeah. It's just basically like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, sorry. Exams. You haven't, like, let's say you haven't read, or maybe you've read, yeah, you've read for it well, but because of your negative mindset and you feeling like you won't pass it, you just keep on predicting that, no, I cannot do this, I won't be able to do this, you see. So yeah, we have two different types of catastrophizing. We have magnifying and minimizing. So magnifying happens when you exaggerate the importance of an occurrence or the possible outcomes. Yeah. For example, magnifying. For example, you fail or you don't get a job. You see, yeah, it's technically the same as almost all of them. They're all of these types of near in sync with each other. But yeah, you don't get a job, and then you go for an interview, you've done your best, and then you don't get a job, and then you go like, oh no, I'm a failure. I like, you exaggerate that situation that has happened there, and then you exaggerate it to more than what it seems to be. Yeah, technically you exaggerate a situation like to more than it's actually seeming to be. Yeah, the next one would be minimizing. Occurs when you incorrectly shrink the importance of a significant occurrence or positive qualities, or your positive qualities. This one is something that I used to do. I'm trying not to do anymore. But yeah, for example, you get an A, and then you're like, you get an A in almost all of them, and then you get a B. You won't recognize your B, just be like, as much as nimepata A, lakini sinaona kuna yeye nimepata B, NSID. Or you can sing, and then someone tells you, ai gay, nani si uko na sauti fiti, ako like, hapana, umesikia nani venye anajua kuimba, mimi aki hata simsiki, something of the sort. When you can actually sing, you can actually act, you can actually do it, but then because you feel like someone else is better than you, you'll minimize it. Yeah. The next one would be labeling. Labeling would be like, it's a really extreme form of generalizing, you see. It occurs when you attach a negative label about yourself or someone else, rather than acknowledging that it was just one simple event. You see, for example, you go out with your friends, and then you, for example, mess up when you're drunk, and then people or you yourself label yourself as a certain type of person. You see, like, that one event will like you'll be labeled because of that one particular event, when it's not actually something that you do. And so with that, I would say, like, if something of the sort happens, you don't carry it like usibebe kwa roho. It's not you, it's just that one particular one event, and you can move past it and you can do better, actually. Yeah, so since there are 12 of this, I would like to pause and I'll upload part 2 of this video next week on Wednesday. So you guys have an amazing one. Love you guys. Keep on sharing, check up on each other, be there for each other. We need each other. We weren't created to stay alone, to handle things on our own. As much as maybe trauma has made you become that type of person who does things on their own, you can actually be able to get help. So you check up on each other, check yourselves, love yourself, be there for yourself, and have an amazing one.